Come on, Chad. 2 for 2 today. Let's go.
What was it going through the beginning of this process that really piqued your interest about Cincinnati, and then the more that you learned, what made it a job that you wanted to aggressively pursue?
Yeah. I think right away, yeah, from an outsider's view, you just see all the success. 15 bowl games since 2000, 14 NCAA men's basketball tournaments. That's a revenue sports. We've also done amazing things with the Olympic sports as well. Sweet 16 in women's volleyball this year. A lot of success. And so just from the outside, that's obviously what attracts you. As I started the process and I got to know President Pinto, I think that's really what sold me. I saw his vision. I could very quickly see how people were rallying around his vision, and so that's really what sold me. And then it doesn't take long to do a little bit of research into Cincinnati and realize it's a great place to live, and so it was a tremendous fit for my family.
John, back here, how have your conversations gone with Luke Fick already, and just how important is it for you to kind of make sure that he's a guy that sticks around here for a long time?
We've had I had a couple of good conversations, had a chance to meet him today. Right away, what I told him is he's my hero from a father standpoint. You know, we have twins. They take it to us almost every day, so I don't know. He deals with 2 twins, so he and Amy are parents of the year as far as we're concerned. But we've had really good conversations. I know that he loves this place. I know he really loves this community and wants to be successful. His recruiting class looks remarkable. I know he recruits at a very high level, and so I'm really excited to get to know him more and just spend some more time.
I'm sure your head's spinning at this point with things that you want to do and goals that you want to accomplish. Is there, in the future, will you have something set aside in terms of a 30-day plan, 60-day plan to just sort of be able to kind of take all the things you want to do and sort of solidify them?
That's a good one. In the future, I will have a 30-day and 60-day plan. Yeah, I'm going to take maybe just a minute to think a little bit more about it. Obviously, as I've kind of gone through this process, I've outlined some things that I certainly want to do right away, and people that I want to meet with, and relationships that I want to build right away that I know are going to be crucial to my success. So I'll focus in on that, and then we'll kind of take it from there.
You mentioned the values that you have. How did Nebraska's 3 championships in 4 years influence you or shape you to who you are today as an athletic director?
That was my wheelhouse. That was my high school years, and so it certainly had an impact on me. And again, it was fun to watch it. I have a lot of respect for Coach Osborne growing up. He was somebody I obviously looked up to, and how he ran that program. So it does have an impact on you, and I think that as I went to law school and I decided at some point that I didn't want to practice law, I wanted to take that passion that I had built from a young age and find a way to use my law degree in college athletics. So it had a big impact.
What do you think about the American Conference as a conference for Cincinnati?
It's tremendous in terms of the schools that are in the American Conference are really strong, and you can certainly see that across the board. You know, it's a good conference and a place that we can really be successful, I believe. And we have to really celebrate that success when we do it, because if you win an American Conference championship, that's a big deal. And we've got to be making sure that we're celebrating our success there.
What's your thought about efforts to get into the Power 5 conference versus staying in the AAC?
You know, I think you can always have aspirations, right? Aspirations are important just in life. And so I understand that that's going to be something that we look at. But I do, like I said, I think we have to be the very best Cincinnati that we can be. That's what we can control. And when you just look at what you have control over, well, then let's go out and make sure that we're supporting this school the way that it needs to be supported. Let's win as many games and conference championships as we can win, and let's go from there.
Anybody else?
At what point, you've been a number 2 guy or a guy that's worked your way up, you know, over the past decade or so, at what point did you and your family say, let's try to get a number 1 spot, let's try to make this next step and be an athletic director?
My wife always talks about her being shocked one day when I came home and I said I want to be an athletic director, but it probably happened around the time that I went to Boise State. And that's ironically right when I met Mark Coyle. He was the deputy athletic director at Kentucky, and he had just gotten to Boise State as the new AD. And so I think we kind of bonded around the fact that we were both new, trying to figure things out. And I told this story to the staff, but he sat me down over a cup of hot chocolate in Las Vegas one day and said, you know, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to be an athletic director. And without hesitation, he just said, I'm gonna find a way to get you there. And so I was able to be around him in a lot of different situations, and he really went out of his way to make sure that I had the experience I needed to be here today.
You started in compliance. How did working under Mark Coyle teach you the other aspects and put you in a position to be a guy that leads a program?
You know, he had a belief in me that I could be an external person, and that was huge, because that's sometimes a tough transition to make, but I was able to make that at Boise State with him. And he has a way about him and the way he treats people that I've really learned from. He talks about, you know, when you're dealing with donors and you're out there trying to fundraise, the key is follow through, and the key is being honest. And I think that that's something that I learned from him, and certainly something I take with me into this position.
Being outside the Power Five, fundraising is obviously a very critical and an important part of where UC is at. What are your philosophies on fundraising and, you know, the ability to take things up another notch here?
You know, it's relationships, and sometimes it takes a little time, sometimes it doesn't, but it's relationships with people that already have a built-in passion for what you're talking about. And so one of the things that I always say in terms of fundraising is go out there and connect to their passion, whatever that is, whatever aspect of Cincinnati athletics that is. Find out, and then, like I said, be very honest with them, be upfront, don't be afraid to make an ask, and then follow through all the way to the end, and then steward them after the gift is made.
Attendance in football has been on the rise with their success recently, especially with the student section has been coming out in full force. As far as the average Cincinnati UC student, what do you have to say to them? The ones who are not athletes.
We want you there, and we're going to do everything we can, like I said in this talk just a minute ago, to make it fun. It's got to be a fun, exciting environment, and it changes everything when that happens, because you have regular fans that come to the games more often when the environment is really good, led by the student section. And so it's going to be really important for us to do everything we can to make sure that they're having a really good time, enjoying it. It's a break from studying. That's what it should be when you come to a basketball game or a football game. You know, show up and have a good time and really enjoy it.
Any other questions? All right, thank you very much for coming out.